Do you know the real reason please and thank you might cost you more ChatGPT tokens, even though they are only two words? Here is the twist: it is not the input tokens that get you, it is the way politeness can quietly flip the model into chatty mode and make it spill extra output tokens you never asked for. In the next 20 seconds, I will show you the one line that caps token burn instantly while still sounding polite. And once you see it, you will never look at please the same way again. If you find this useful, tap like so more people see it. And if you use ChatGPT a lot, you will want the last 60 seconds because that is where the biggest token leak is hiding. Alright, let's keep this simple and real. When people argue about manners in prompts, they usually argue about the wrong thing. They imagine the word please is the cost, like two extra words equals a big token bill. But tokens do not work like guilt. Tokens work like volume. Here is the easiest mental picture. Every message has two token buckets. Bucket 1 is what you send, your prompt and any conversation history still riding along in the chat. Bucket 2 is what you get back, the answer the model generates. And 9 times out of 10, bucket 2 is where the real bill happens. Let me ask you something. If you add the word please, yes, you add a tiny bit to bucket 1. That is true. But what usually hurts is when bucket 2 turns into a full essay because the model thinks you want something warm and thorough. And politeness can sometimes nudge it there. Not because the model has feelings, because the model follows patterns. Here is what I mean. Think about how humans actually type when they are being polite. Hey, hope you are doing well. Could you please explain this? Thank you so much. That tone is friendly, and the model often mirrors that friendliness by being extra helpful, extra careful, extra thorough, which can quietly become extra long. So the real question is not, did I type please? The real question is, did my wording invite a longer answer than I needed? Have you ever asked something small and got a mini textbook back? If yes, you already felt the token problem. That is unbounded output. Here is the sneaky part. Once you get a long answer, you do what all of us do. You start fixing it. Make it shorter, add examples, make it more professional. Now make it simpler, now rewrite it for a beginner. Now turn it into a checklist. Each of those steps spins the token wheel again. You're not paying for please anymore, you're paying for the spiral. So the biggest token waste is rarely one polite word. It is the chain reaction after a vague or open ended prompt. Now I'm going to make this painfully clear with a tiny game. Two prompts, same topic, totally different token outcome. Prompt A: please explain time management. What happens? The model tries to be helpful, so it might add definitions, context, frameworks, examples, and a motivational ending. Nice answer. Also, a lot of output tokens. Prompt B: please explain time management in 5 bullets, max 120 words, no preamble. Same manners, completely different behavior because you gave it rails. And now I close the open loop from the hook. Here is the one line that saves more tokens than deleting please ever will. Answer in 5 bullets, max 120 words, no preamble. That is it. You just put a ceiling on bucket 2. You remove the space, the chatty mode grows. And if you want to stay polite, you do not have to drop manners, just attach the limiter. Please answer in 5 bullets, maximum 120 words. No preamble. Thank you. Same tone, way tighter output. Now, here is a question I want you to answer honestly for yourself. Do you want better answers or do you want longer answers? Because a lot of token burn comes from confusing those two. Here is how to get better answers without the bloat. You describe what done looks like. Instead of, can you please help me write an email? Say something like, please write a professional email, 120 words max, 6 sentences, include these 3 points, one version only, no extra options. That does not sound rude, that sounds competent, and competence is token efficient. Now, let's stack a few habits that actually matter in real life. First habit, always cap the output. Word limit, bullet limit, number of steps, whatever fits. Even a line like keep it under 8 lines makes a difference. Second habit, ask for one deliverable at a time. If you ask for an explanation, a comparison, examples, a script, and a LinkedIn post all in one message, you will get a wall of text. Instead, do it in 2 steps. Give me the short version first. If I want more, I will ask. Third habit, stop rerolls before they start. The regenerate button is not evil, but it is a token machine. If you hit it 5 times, the prompt probably needed constraints. Here is a line that prevents rerolls and feels totally natural. If anything is unclear, ask me 2 quick questions before answering. That one sentence can save tokens because it stops wrong direction answers. And wrong direction answers are where token waste explodes. Now, the last piece is the one most people forget: conversation history. This is the silent token leak. Because your new question is rarely just your new question. It can carry the weight of earlier messages still in context. So even if you type one clean sentence, you might be dragging an entire transcript behind it. If you want a simple rule that works, when a chat gets long, start a fresh thread for the next task, or paste only the exact context needed and cap the output. Now let's answer the big question clearly. Do please and thank you waste tokens? A tiny bit on the input side, yes, but for most people, the real token cost is not the manners. It is the extra output those vibes can invite, and the rewrite loop that follows. So the best move is not to be rude. The best move is to be specific and set limits. If you want my best copy paste token smart templates for email, studying, content, and job stuff, subscribe right now so you do not lose the series. Then comment the word template and tell me your main use case in one line. I will reply with a prompt built for that exact use case and designed to stay short, sharp, and token efficient. And if you want to boost your career beyond coding, don't miss my upcoming course, Excel Tutorial for Beginners. Excel is still one of the most powerful skills for data management, reporting, and real-world productivity. So like this video, subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss Excel Tutorial for Beginners and weekly AI Plus productivity content.